A bamboo cabin hangs over a clear stream, a shelter carved from the wild jungle. Inside this geometric haven, the builder awakens. He surveys his domain of rushing water and bamboo before heading out. On the veranda, he breathes deep, arms wide, gathering strength for the brutal physical chess match ahead. Work begins, shattering the piece. He checks the bamboo slopes, testing soil and stability. Here, negligence is punished by gravity. He grabs a bamboo pole, clearing debris along the terrace edge. It is a relentless battle against the jungle's reclaiming urge. In the freezing stream, he hauls stones, stacking them along the banks. It's not landscaping. It's a fortress against erosion. He hoists a bamboo pipe high, showering the wood-chip soil with cool mountain spring water to wake the dormant seeds buried beneath. Irrigation complete, he surveys the quenched earth. Dropping the pipe, he heads to the cabin, the morning's grueling work finally done. Back in his cabin, he sits on a wooden stool. Through the geometric window, he watches the forest, his eyes calm and still. Shouldering his pack and gripping a stick, he crosses the streamstones, venturing deeper into the green abyss to scout for resources. Hours later, the rhythmic splashing of his return breaks the silence. Stepping lightly across the stones, he reclaims his riverside harbor, the successful foraging trip etched in his relaxed stride. The waterfall's roar sets the tempo. He steps from the cabin window, tools in hand, his steady pace signaling a massive structural upgrade. He climbs the wooden roof, clearing debris and organizing bamboo to ensure a perfectly flat surface. He hurls a bundle of banana leaves onto the roof's center. These waxy surfaces form a primitive, brilliant waterproofing layer. He spreads a vast black sheet across the ridge, battling the wind. This barrier seals his shelter against the rotting monsoon rains. Now, the structural skeleton takes shape. With a long bamboo pole, he measures load-bearing points with laser focus. Every placement is a calculated strike against collapse. He weaves bamboo into a crisscrossing grid, forming a rigid frame to pin the waterproof membrane against fierce gales. With the grid set, binding begins. His hands fly, wrapping vines around bamboo joints. Each taut knot locks the structure into an unyielding force. He stands tall, surveying his masterpiece. The planks are now armored in black plastic in a bamboo fortress. The waterproof shell is complete, a triumph of engineering over the wild. A roof isn't just for keeping water out, it brings life in. He hoists a sack of yellow earth, dumps the soil onto the plastic, laying the foundation for a living green canopy. Dirt piles high, half burying the roof. Dust swirls in sunbeams as he adds more earth. Using a long bamboo pole as a scraper, he levels the dirt mounds, filling every grid cell. Precision is key. An uneven base means dead grass. He finds a lush spot, drives his spade deep into the dense earth, and pries up a perfect square of turf for his living roof. One by one, he extracts these heavy green tiles, lining them up and counting them out. It's a brutal mining operation, harvesting the jungle floor to crown his cabin. Gritting his teeth, he shoulders the heavy turf sacks. Under the blazing sun, the trek back to the cabin is an agonizing test of endurance. From above, green patches swallow the brown earth as he carefully lays each turf tile. He shuttles back and forth, filling every grid with soil against the roaring creek and emerald canopy. His hands dig deep, flipping turf with roots intact. He transplants the forest soul onto his roof. He presses turf onto damp soil like a carpet. Every seam is tucked, ensuring the green armor withstands heavy rain. The roof is now a green meadow, save for bare patches near the chimney. He covers these last spots, blending home and habitat. Lightened by his finished roof, he heads down to fetch irrigation tools for his new aerial garden. He raises a bamboo tube, showering the new grass with clear stream water. The spray settles the dust and seals the roots in their new home. Beneath the eaves, he digs a deep trench. This drainage moat diverts runoff from the cabin's foundation. The spade flies through mud and sweat. His strikes are relentless, carving earth before the rains come. He dumps dry soil into the pit, dust rising. This base provides a stable floor for the massive stones to follow. He douses the dirt, kneading mud with bare hands. His focused gaze locks on the mix, the primal glue for his stone fortress. He heaves massive boulders into the mortar base. Each stone builds his defensive wall, a barrier to hold back the earth. He sets the last stone, sealing gaps with mortar. The wall stands complete, anchoring the cabin to the cliff. The cabin stands majestic beside the roaring falls. He circles it, heading to the stream to wash away the day's grime. He plunges his mud-caked hands into the icy clear water. The slow washing is a moment of zen, a quiet reward after hours of hard labor. He steps into the warm cabin, shutting the door against the jungle's roar. Silence wraps around him, a hard-earned peace in his own creation. Emerging with a long pole, he adjusts the internal supports. The cabin's skeleton needs fine-tuning to ensure every beam bears its load perfectly. Gripping a hand-crank drill, he bores into the window frame joints. Yellow wood shavings spiral out as the bit bites deep, creating the precise anchor points needed to lock the delicate geometric lattice in place. He slides a slender wooden peg into the hole, using his machete's spine as a hammer_sharp cracks echo as he drives it home, fusing joints with ancient nailless joinery. From the interior shadows, he aligns the final wooden stake at the window's edge. With a smooth, powerful strike, he sinks it deep, sealing the structural integrity of the frame with a satisfying final thud. Pulling back, the cabin harmonizes with the waterfall and ancient forest. Inside, the builder pauses, tilting his head to admire the light filtering through his work. Clasping two long timber planks, he strides from the cabin across slippery river stones to the water's edge workbench, ready to shape a new vessel. Crouching on a boulder, he wedges timber into a rock crevice. His right hand pumps the black folding saw, slicing through dense grain with rhythmic precision. Surrounded by a mountain of rough-cut timber, he sits cross-legged on the rock and brings out the hand plane. The grueling process of smoothing and squaring the wood begins, transforming raw logs into precision components. He lays the boards out, drilling vertically with a hand drill. Yellow wood dust flies out, marking spots for the barrel's pins. As more staves are added, the barrel's circular form begins to emerge. He tweaks each angle carefully to ensure a perfect watertight curve. Bracing the barrel with one hand, he swiftly wedges the final narrow staves into the remaining gaps. The physical enclosure is complete, the wooden cylinder standing proud and unified against the jungle backdrop. He anchors a vine in the board and wraps it round the barrel. This first tight cinch crushes the staves, sealing the seams under pressure. To stop the vine from slipping, he wedges a thin wood sliver into the gap. This friction lock secures the binding with an unyielding grip. His hands weave tough rattan over the staves. This lashing is the critical exoskeleton, keeping the barrel from bursting. He pulls the vine taut, the deep bite marks in the wood showing the sheer force. Each weave is a calculated tension, a masterclass in primitive engineering. He sets the barrel on stone, slapping its walls to test stability. With a cold, exacting gaze, he inspects the rim for perfect symmetry. Now for the base. He selects a thick plank, mounts it on the sawhorse eyes, dart between saw line and grain, calculating the cut before the long saw begins its rhythmic bite. Steel rasps on wood, echoing through the valley. Sawdust falls like snow as he keeps a steady rhythm, using core strength to hold the blade vertical for a square cut. He presses a circular template onto the planks, tracing the path with charred wood. The black line marks a precise guide for the barrel's floor. He wedges the disc into the barrel to test the fit. Finding the edge too thick, he uses his knife to bevel the rim, focused on a perfect seal. Gripping a thin rod with a sharp tip, he hand drills the base plate's center. This creates the anchor for wooden pegs locking the floor to the barrel's core. He drives a sharpened peg into the hole, tapping it with his knife spine until it sinks flush. fusing the base into one solid unit. He drives a wooden dowel into the side to strengthen the joint, then shaves it flush with swift, decisive strokes. He checks every joint for integrity. A deep breath eases his tension. He picks up his tools to install the handle. He slots the vine handle into the side holes. It takes a master's touch to lock it tight without snapping the fiber. His seasoned hands make it look effortless. Back at the river, he crouches on stones. He scoops icy water into the new wooden bucket. The moment of truth arrives. He smears black charcoal sealant into the seams, creating a vital barrier against leaks. He lifts the bucket high, inspecting the exterior for leaks. Satisfied with the seal, he plunges it back into the stream to wash away excess sealant. He lays out crisp lettuce and red ribs on a stone, fetching clear water from upstream. The wilderness feast begins. Ribs sizzle over the open flame, meat turning rich brown. He feeds twigs into the fire, adjusting the heat to lock in juices. I sit on a low stool, patiently guarding the fire. After some time, I lift the rack to reveal ribs glazed in a perfect mahogany crust. He stacks the sliced ribs on a banana leaf. A squeeze of lime juice cuts the fat, brightening the rustic dish. He grabs the rack, tearing into the meat. A quick pause. Then he squeezes lime for a sharp kick. He wraps a crisp lettuce leaf around the smoky pork. Shoving it into his mouth, he savors the crunch cutting through the rich meat. The feast ends. Sunlight pierces the bamboo, revealing his cabin against the frock. He steps from the window, the door opening to release him into the wild. Carrying the water bucket, he walks barefoot across the river stones. He returns to the cabin platform with calm, powerful strides. The door shuts. The cabin fades into the rock's shadow, a silent monument to solitude.